Hi, this is Nancy Marco, founder of the Connecting You with Yourself free online community. And I wanted to make a little recording today in response to a comment that was made on the Five Tibetans video that I made. And so, if you're the person that made that comment, this video is specifically for you. The Five Tibetans, I've been working off of a book by Carolinda Witt. It's called The Illustrated Five Tibetan Rites. And if you're really interested in these rites and want to learn more about them, get this book, Carolinda Witt, Witt. The rites are shared as a flow that you can easily do for vitality, strength, well being, and health. The comment that was made was that this person has difficulty getting up and down from the floor in the ways that I shared in that first video. So I wanted to show you how, with all yoga, you can start where you're at, honoring and being really truthful about your body, what you're needing. Today, I am getting over a cold. So, this could be a way for me to do the five Tibetans in a more modified fashion. You may have not done exercise for a long, long time, and you're coming to your mat unable, like this person, to get easily up and down from the mat. Yoga enables us at any age, people do yoga all the way up into their hundreds, to have the ability to get up and down. And if you have followed aging and anti aging programs, you'll know the people in the places where people live into their hundreds have the ability to get up and down. They work on keeping the muscles in their legs, in their hips, in their buttocks, in their back, in their arms, in their shoulders to enable them to stay flexible, to stay movable, to hold, to keep their balance, to be able to have vitality in their life. And but you have to start where you're at. You have to start with the body that you have at the moment. And so that's what we're going to do today. Everything is going to be done seated. You can do a chair. You can move up to a next level would be an exercise ball. I have one here. I'll show you. Um, you can buy these on Amazon. When you get a ball, you want to have it blown up so that when you sit on it, you have a nice 90-degree angle under your knees. The ball's going to challenge your balance because that ball can wiggle around, but all these can be done also on the ball. So that might be a stepping stone for you to work up to. The first of the five Tibetans, and each one of them has a mantra that goes with it, is twirling. And this one builds, uh, strengthens balance, and it also aligns the chakras if you are open to that kind of energy awareness in the body. So when balance is challenged, the recommendation is to use your, I'm going to move the chair over to the side, to use your right leg as your anchor, to keep that right foot on the floor, and to move around with your left leg. And you can keep the chair close to you, like I'm demonstrating, so that you're always having something to hold on to. Each one of these rites is done in a succession of 21 repetitions. That doesn't mean that you have to do 21 when you're first starting. So you can do as many as is right for you. The twirling is done with the arms extended out. So the modifier would be one hand stays down, and then you're spinning, moving that left leg, bringing one arm up and dropping one arm down. We're always doing these twirls in a clockwise motion. So if you haven't started already, join me standing next to your chair and just try this modification. See how it works for you. You might do 3, you might do 5, you might do 10, you might do the whole 21. So we're working up to being able to not have the chair as a prop and just being able to spin. And as we're spinning, we're using the mantra, I am full of energy. I am full of energy. We're keeping the crown tall and we're feeling the feet on the floor, bringing the awareness from the dizziness that's going to happen in our head to the grounding of our feet, feeling our feet on the floor, keeping our knees soft. I am full of energy. So that's the full pose, the modification. Again, sweep the arm out, spin, hold on to the back of the chair. You go as slow or as fast as your body says is okay for today. And then tomorrow, you see how your body feels. It's not about, I have to do more tomorrow. You might do less tomorrow. Each day, you check in with yourself. You connect with yourself and you find your way that you're going to do this right today. So, no excuses based on how you're feeling. Once you're done with each of the rites, we do a breathing exercise. This breathing is about awakening the mind, opening the heart, and connecting with the body wisdom. We take our hands, we bring our fingers together, we place our hands under our ribs, we lower our shoulders, our elbows, we lift our crown, we make sure our feet are right under our hips. You can do that by using the length of your foot to find that distance and then aligning the outsides of your feet. In yoga, this is mountain pose, except your hands are dropped. And it is the way we should be standing when we're in line, when we're waiting, anytime we're standing. It gives equal weight to the parts and pieces of our body. In this practice, the eyes are recommended closed. If that's not safe for you, you stare out in front of you. In yoga, we call it finding a dristi. You find a spot on the wall and you stare at that spot. We're going to do a 3-part breath. We're going to inhale and exhale through the nostrils. We're going to hold the exhale we're going to hold the space after the exhale for as long as is comfortable for you. So this breath is not meant to torture yourself. So it's about building awareness. So let's practice. We're going to inhale through the nostrils, count your breath. When you get full, exhale through the nostrils to the same count. When you get to that number, Don't inhale, don't exhale, just hold. See how long you can hold. When you need air, you're going to inhale again. You're going to exhale again, same count. And then you're going to hold for as long as your body allows you to. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your crown tall. Feel your feet on the floor. And we end with a third breath, same thing. Inhale, exhale, and hold. Then say the mantra, I am full of energy. And we'll move on to the next one, which is leg raises. So sit, you don't have to come down to the mat. You sit in the chair. You're going to come to the edge of your chair. Your hands are going to be holding on to the chair. You're going to have a 90-degree angle here at your hips with your shoulders stacked over your hips, your ears stacked over your shoulders. That's where you start. The mantra for this one is my mind is clear and calm. The repetition is 21 or anywhere up to 21. This is working the core. So we're going to walk our hands back just a little bit. We're going to pull our belly button in and first and we're going to kiss our shoulder blades together. So we have a straight line from our tailbone through our crown. And we're simply going to straighten one leg and lift it up and down using our core muscles. So keep that core pulled in. Do a couple on that side. Do a couple on this side. So that's the first modifier, and that's enough if that's all you can do. When you're ready to do more, walk your hands back a little more. You're creating a little V in your body. Lift up through your crown. Keep your shoulder blades kissed. Tuck your chin ever so slightly and lift up both of the legs. So touch them to the floor and lift them up. And you're going to try and do as many as you can using your core. And you're going to say, my mind is clear and calm. My mind is clear and calm. When you're ready to venture down to the mat, there's lots of modifiers that you can do here. You can start out with legs up against the wall, hands on either side of the hips or behind your head. If your hands are behind your head, keep your shoulders wide. Either way, press your low back into the mat. So staple your belly button into the floor. You can keep your head on the mat, or you can lift your chest and your face, tucking your chin ever so slightly, keeping your elbows wide, and you can lower one leg and then the other. You can lower two legs, modify, or you can do the full pose with hands at either side of the hips, legs straight, and we lift up, chin is slightly tucked, and lower down. My mind is clear and calm. My mind is clear and calm, and you do as many as you can up to 21. This is building the core. It's building the back. And you breathe. To come up from the floor to standing, you roll to one side. So important. You need to know how to get up. You take your upper arm to the floor, you press into it, and you come up. If you're really challenged, you inchworm yourself over to a chair and then bring your hands to the chair, come up onto your knees, your toes, and come up to standing. So that's a way that you can reverse and do for each one of your movements if you're going to start coming up and down. So we just did as many as you're going to do. We're going to come back to that breath. So if you were laying on the mat, you could do this laying down on your back, hands right below the ribs, elbows drop, crowns tall, and you do 3 repeats of the inhale and the exhale with the hold. So you can start, and the hold is actually an energetic support for you to hold awareness, consciousness, to be awake to yourself, to be awake to your choices, to be awake to your high mind, your high heart, and to release control, resistance, tension in the body. Once you've got your 3 done, we'll do the next right. I'm going to get a little drink. And that one is the camel flow. So in the chair, again, you can be seated in a nice sturdy chair. Important that the chair provides you good posture, that your feet are on the floor. If you're a person with really short legs, you can always use a book or a block to put under your feet. You want to have that nice 90-degree angle under your knees. And again, you're sitting at the edge of the chair. You're stacking the hips, shoulders, and ears. And for this one, we're bringing our hands behind us. So the hands wrap around the lower waist. The thumbs reach towards the front of the body. The pinkies reach towards the back. You're holding at that low back. You drop the elbows towards the floor. You drop your shoulders away from the ears. And you're seated up nice and tall. For this one, we drop our chin to start. We lift our heart. The mantra is, I am flexible and receptive. We're working the entire spine. We're sending that chi energy up and down the back. We're building flexibility from the base of the occiput to the base of the spine. So starting out nice and tall, ears, shoulders, hips, feet flat on the floor. Elbows dropped away from the ears. Chin is slightly tucked. We blow out all the air. And then keeping the shoulders low, we start to lift the chin, lift the heart. We take our gaze up to the ceiling, keep the elbows dropping down, and we create a little arch to the back. And then we exhale and come back to that neutral position where the chin drops. We keep the shoulders out of the ears. We keep the elbows drawing back. And we say, I am flexible and receptive. Pull your belly button in while you do this. Exhale, chin down. Keep the heart lifted. Inhale, lift the chin. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. I am flexible and receptive. And come back down. And inhale. I am flexible and receptive. And exhale. And inhale. I am flexible and receptive. And exhale. So if you're down on the mat, we're on our knees. You can pad your knees with your yoga mat. You can roll up your yoga mat so you have lots of padding underneath your knees. Your toes are tucked. Your knees are right under your hips. The shoulders are right over the top, the ears over the shoulders. That's how you start out. You bring your hands behind you. You exhale, chin down to the chest. You inhale, drop your shoulders back, lift your heart. I am flexible and receptive. You keep pressing your knees down and you find your flow. You inhale and you exhale. I am flexible and receptive. I am flexible and receptive. I am flexible and receptive. If you're down on your knees, you can have a chance to stretch your toes by sitting on your heels, letting those toes widen, which helps you with balance. And then when you're done with that, you can sit and do your breaths. I'm going to sit in the chair. So once you get done, as many as you're going to get done, you return to this breath. Close your eyes if it feels safe. Drop your shoulders. Find that stack. Pull your belly button slightly in. Breathe in and out through your nostrils 3 rounds. End with your mantra, I am flexible and receptive. Always make sure you stay hydrated, so get drinks when you need to. The next one is a tabletop flow, and the mantra is, I am strong and balanced. So the very beginning modification is sitting on the edge of your chair. You just walk your hands back and lift your heart. And then bring your hands back to your thigh and back into a nice tall seated pose. So I am strong and balanced. We're opening up across the chest here. So as we work over devices or tables, we tend to get too long across the back and too short across the front, which lessens the amount of air we can get in. It rounds our neck. It creates that humped over posture. Not good for anything. So we're practicing sitting up tall, hands on thighs. So this is the exhale. And then the inhale, you walk your hands back and lift your heart. I am strong and balanced. I am strong and balanced. And you do as many as feels right to you. When you're ready to add on, you can take your hands backwards, drop the heels of your hands, and pick up your hips, and then come down. So when we're adding that, We're building arm, shoulder strength, wrist strength, and we're working our glutes and our quads. So it looks like this. We sit up straight, exhale, walk our hands back, inhale, lift up, sit back down at the edge of the chair, and do it again. So try that. See if you're ready to do that movement. Inhale as you lift. I am strong and balanced. Come back to a nice, tall, seated stance. You're kissing your shoulder blades together here. You're opening your heart, your throat, your mind. If you're ready to come down to the mat, find your way down into a seated pose, 90-degree angle at your hip crease. Flex your feet as you press out with your heels. You're stretching those calves. You're lengthening the muscles at the back of your legs. You can try that to lower the knees down. You can kickstand your hands and also point your toes, curl your toes, stretch the tops of your ankles and the tops of your calves. For the pose, we start out with a 90-degree angle at our ankles, a 90-degree angle at our hips. Our hands are flat on the mat. Our crown is tall. Our chin slightly back, so those ears are over the shoulders, shoulders are over the hips. We exhale the chin down. We inhale. This is the modifier. Take your hands back and lift your heart. So similar to seated, that's the modifier. The full flow is you inhale, hands back, feet come towards you, hips come up into that table. And then you return, exhale, drop the chin, inhale, lift the hips. So working more of the upper body, the glutes, and you do up to 21, as many as you can. You're saying the mantra, I am strong and balanced. And then you come back, laying on your back or seated, and you do your 3 breaths. You start seeing, maybe you can hazy your eyes. The hands at the below the ribs helps you to be conscious of breathing from your belly. So your inhale, you expand your belly. Your exhale, you contract your belly. Inhale, exhale, and hold. Keep the shoulders out of the ears, the crown tall. The pelvic bowl is rolled forward. 2 more times. And you end with, I am strong and balanced. Again, remember how we get up. We roll to one side. Come to your knees. If you need extra help, come to a chair, walk up. Important to keep practicing as much as you can for wherever you're at to get up and down. That builds the muscles around the hips. It's going to keep you from breaking your hip. It helps with your balance, building the quads, the hamstrings. It's really important. So I've been doing yoga for over 30 years. It's easy for me to get up and down, but I've had injuries over that time where I had to do yoga in a chair. So It's where you are right here, right now, and you start there. So the next one is called the pendulum, and we're going to use the chair. Again, make sure your chair doesn't have wheels on it, obviously, that it's a sturdy chair. You're going to bring your hands to the seat of the chair, and you're going to walk your feet back. Wide feet's going to make this easier. Feet about 1 foot length apart, a little more challenging. You're placing the uh, palms of your hands on the mat. Just drape your thumbs underneath the chair if you can, and lift your hips. Bring your ears in between your upper arms. So take time to find, where can I be? And I step back a little bit more. You're pressing out with your sitting bones, and you're lengthening from the tailbone to the crown. You're looking down at the floor, not through your ankles. You're widening across your upper back. You're rolling the edges of your armpits inward to feel that stretch across your upper back. This is your exhale in the pose. The inhale, make sure your chair is sturdy. You're bringing the head up and you're bringing the hips forward. That's your inhale. And then your exhale. I want to widen my arms a little bit. So take time to find what works for you. This is the pendulum, sending energy from your heels to your crown, working your upper body and flexing your spine. So the mantra here is, I am positive and motivated. So you could try that. Exhale. And then inhale, I am positive and motivated. I am positive and motivated. If this is super challenging for you, another modification is simply come to the wall so that you're building the upper body muscles. Walk your feet back. Find your stretch. And then just bring the head up, the hips forward. Come on to the balls of your feet. So if you have issues with your shoulders, you're just going to modify. You start where you're at. You can start really close and just practice moving at the hips, bringing consciousness into that lower body, taking all the pressure out of the shoulders. If you are ready to come down to the mat, we walk out into the downward facing dog. We spread 10 fingers wide. We can take the feet nice and wide or closer together. You lift up your hips, you bring your ears in between your in between your upper arms. That's your exhale. And then you inhale, drop your hips, lift your heart, and you say, I am positive and motivated. I am positive and motivated. So we're not flipping on our toes for this one like you would in yoga flow. We're just keeping the balls of our feet on the mat. We're using our breath. We're repeating our mantra. So just as a motivator to my commenter, I don't want to call you out, but I'm just so appreciating you. The people that do yoga with me are 90% over 65. I'm going to be 67 myself, and some of them are well into their 80s. And so we do modifiers to honor the body And when we're done, we stop. So everyone's looking a little bit different in class. And I really encourage everyone to honor their body. So when you've got done as many as you're going to do, again, come back, find a pose, a way that, so in this one, you could come down into a plank from your downward facing dog on the mat, come into a crocodile, and then roll on your back. Relax your shoulders, lift your crown, bring your hands to your belly, and find your breath. Inhale, exhale, and then hold that state of neutrality. Imagine your mind is learning to be neutral, not in reactivity. So released from reactive fear, released from reactive emotions. So not taking things personally, just being in neutrality, remembering you are love. You are wise. In your head, you're connecting to your intuition. In your heart, you're connecting to that innate love that you are. And in your body, you're remembering how you are part of something more. You are connected to yourself, to each other, to the planet, to beyond the planet. You remember the law of one in the body, the law of three in the heart, the law of seven in the head. To end, you can add just a 3-part flow, great for all parts of your body. It's starting in mountain pose, so use that foot to find the distance, align the outsides, then consciously stack the ears, shoulders, hips. We inhale the arms up, it's called salute. We exhale, bend the knees, splay the arms, kiss the shoulder blades back, and lift the heart. The gaze is slightly upward. The palms are open. And here you can say any one of those mantras that maybe felt good for you, or maybe do the pendulum one. I am positive and motivated. We forgot to do that at the end. And then you hinge at the hip crease. Knees are bent. You fold forward. You're gluing your belly to your thighs. That protects the low back. You drop your hands down. You lift your hips and you grab your elbows. Shake out your head trash, anything that doesn't serve you, any ways, things that you've believed that are false. And then we roll up, releasing our hands, contracting our abs, roll back up and come into that salute. Take your time. So when you first do this, you might be a little dizzy. Feel your feet. And then exhale, bend your knees, splay your arms, lift your heart, open your throat, open your mind, open your hands. Take the arthritis out of your fingers and then hinge forward down to the mat and inhale up. So modifier on that, you're going to do that 3 times. As you stand, you inhale up, you exhale, knees bend, you inhale, heart lifts, and then you fold and find your chair and bring your head down as low as you can. Then inhale up, sweep the arms up, and do it one last time. So 3 times. I am positive and motivated. End with those 3 breaths again. So right where we started, mountain pose, hands on the belly, eyes closed. If you can get there. So see what you can do today. If you need your eyes open or hazy, that's okay. We start where we're at. Inhale, exhale. Hold for as long as you can. Repeat. Last one. Hands to prayer, thumbs to heart. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you will add these to your wellness toolbox. Do them maybe every day, maybe 3 times a week, maybe 2 times a week. You start where you're at, you keep going. Namaste. And I don't know where my mouse is. Here it is. Do check out the other things that is offered, www.connectingyouwithyourself.com. I look forward to meeting you on Zoom, and reach out to me with any questions, comments. I do listen. Thanks.